Hi and welcome back to Garden Ninja. Now, it's been a while since I've done one of my now infamous videos, and I thought it'd be a good time to give you a tour of the garden here at Garden Ninja HQ in autumn, so you can see how things have progressed. I'm also going to be giving you some top tips, my favourite plants, things to do in autumn, and what else you can do in your own gardens at home. So come on, let's get cracking. Now, I know it's been a while since I've done one of these videos. I've had a crazy kind of year and a half, quite sad really, full of trauma and loss and lots of work stuff going on, and I've just kind of had to hunker down and focus on the bare minimum. So although I used to absolutely love creating content and videos for you, it has taken a back seat for my own mental health and to basically survive the past year. But good news is I'm back and I feel like I'm on fighting form. So do let me know in the comments below, and it'll help me craft content just for you ninjas. If you've not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit the red button to subscribe today. Also click the bell for notifications. We'll have access to hundreds of garden design hints, tips and hacks from me, the Garden Ninja. And best of all, it's free. Now, autumn is often thought of a time in the garden where things just slow down and we get ready for winter. And whilst that's true for some plants, it's also a season where we can take stock, look around and enjoy all that autumn has to offer. And in my garden here at Garden Ninja HQ, I pretty much leave 95% of things throughout the winter, because I love the structure that all of this beautiful herbaceous perennial material gives me. But I'm going to show you a few plants that are really worthwhile considering for your own gardens if you want to extend the season and have glorious gardens throughout the year. Now, an absolutely fantastic autumn specimen is this Molinia windspiel. Now, you may recognise the name because Molinia is our native purple moorgrass. Well, that's much shorter, about yay high. And I use those a lot in garden designs for small urban spaces because they add texture. But if you want autumnal oomph, then this is the species to go for. This windspiel grows to about 2.5 metres tall, as you can see behind me. Now, a lot of the time, beginner and new gardeners panic about tall specimens. But even in a small garden, whilst this gets tall, it doesn't get very wide. So it's a great choice if you need some height and interest, even in the tiniest of spaces. Now, I've got about 12 dotted throughout the inner core of this garden. But you could even have one as a specimen. Could even replace a small tree or shrub and you could use it for that height. But as you can see, when we get to October, November, it really comes to life because it turns golden, there's movement, the small birds dart in and out, picking off the seed heads, and it's just a fabulous choice. So don't fear height, make sure that you pick something that's wonderful, like this Molinia windspiel. Now, another excellent autumnal plant are these, the aster. Now, they've had a bit of a name change to Symphotricum, which is a bit of a mouthful, so I still refer to them as asters, coming from the Latin of star, which you can see with the beautiful little pale purple flowers. Now, the beauty of the aster genus is that they are late flowering herbaceous perennials. And what that means is that things like honeybees and insects and wildlife can continue to forage for nectar and pollen and help get them through the winter, because most other plants at this time of year have started to recede, they're not flowering anymore, but things like asters and autumnal shrubs are in full bloom. So they're really worthwhile for your autumnal gardens because they add a pop of late season colour. Now, this aster here is a large one, it probably should be staked, but I've been a bit lazy. But you can get much more compact varieties, smaller, shorter, squatter ones that you can put into pots and into your gardens. So I'd highly recommend having a good look round and finding an aster suitable for your garden for this autumn starry surprise. Now, over here is my last specimen for autumnal fabulousness, and it's this Artemisia absinthium. Now, Artemisia is an absolutely fantastic genus. I love it. I try and pop it into as many gardens as I can because it's got amazing folklore. And Artemisia, otherwise known as wormwood, is used in all sorts of witchcraft and occult practices all over the globe, and has been probably for thousands of years, because it helps to repel negative thoughts, unwanted energies, and it's great for making your own smudge sticks. But also, when you rub the leaves, you get this amazing scent. And even in autumn, it's just starting to go over, but you can see these light silvery leaves and all these little old flower heads are still intact. It just adds a real wallop of oomph to the garden. Now, this is Absinthium. There's even smaller varieties, ones that are compact and this big. There's also Artemisia vulgaris, the native sort of thuggish weed. So there really is one for every size garden, but right now it's adding a bit of silver just before we head into winter, and I think it's a fantastic specimen. So if you've been following my videos over the years, you'll know that I've taken up beekeeping about 4 or 5 years ago. To some limited success. It's a lot harder than I originally thought, but now is the time of year when the hives get winterized, which means that we reduce them, ready for winter, we feed them, we strap them up, and we put mouse excluders on the front to hopefully get the hives through the winter without mice eating the wax or any of the honey, and also keep the bees warm, because during the winter the queen doesn't lay any eggs, or very few. So she has these winter bees that she lays in September that are fatter, that live far longer than the summer bees, and that's what gets her through the winter. So they've been winterized. I'm about to strap them up today, but we do have some bad news, because one of the hives in the middle just hasn't made it. They had loads of supplies and honey this year. They were really busy about a month ago, but I opened them up the other day because I'd not seen any activity, and there's nothing in there. So I'm guessing that wasps have probably robbed the hive, and then other bees have been in and robbed all the honey as well. So kind of sad, but this is just the life of keeping bees. You have some good days, some bad days, good years, bad years, but try nonetheless, I will. So there we go, an autumnal tour around my garden here at Garden Ninja HQ. If you've liked this video, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, where there are hundreds of other video guides and how-tos for all levels of gardener. If you want to find out more about me, head over to my website gardenninja.co.uk, and if you want to learn how to become a gardener, head over to my site, where I'm offering online courses to help train you up from beginner all the way through to competent garden designer. I've been Lee Burkill, Garden Ninja. Happy gardening.